Hey, welcome back to the Crossroads episode number 4 with the great data ninja himself, Najib. Welcome to the show, Najib.
You
Welcome back.
always
This
you
is a
always
daily show that we
embarrass
do.
me with those humble words.
No, that is the truth. You are the data ninja here, and I will refer to you like that always. Alright,
Data
so we have
ninja.
5 topics today that we are going to discuss. And the
mhm.
first topic, I don't know what you're going to discuss, Najib, so let's start with you.
All right. So the first topic that we have today is the 10-year Treasury yield. Interest rates have been going up. Now, I don't know how much you know about this, but whenever the 10-year Treasury yield starts going up, it
No, can
usually.
you back up a little? What is the treasury yield? I have no idea.
Okay, so the U.S. Federal Reserve gives out bonds, right? So the treasury yield is like the bond is called like the treasury yield bond, okay? And it is one of the bonds that they have, like they have railway bonds and so and so in their bonds category. Treasury yield bond is one of the category, and they give out interest rate on those depending on the maturity, 1 year, 10 year, 30 years, whatever. So the 10-year treasury yield interest rate rose up. So usually what that means is the people, they bonds are in demand, in simple terms.
Mm-hmm.
Bonds are in demand. Stocks are not that much in demand. Bonds are in demand. Now what does this
So
mean?
they're less risky than stocks or any
They are
other
always
commodity.
less
They're
risky than
least
stocks.
risky.
They are always less risky than stocks. That's why people go to them, right? If there is a crisis or something, because the value of that bond is backed up by the US government, right? It's backed up by the US dollar, the powerful US dollar, the Federal Reserve, most powerful Reserve Bank, I think. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
if you have like a 10-year maturity on that thing, and you know that at the end of 10 year you're gonna get that money, you're gonna get that. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's about treasury yield basically. So since 10 years, I guess 10 or 20, 10 years, yeah, but for the past decade it has been like rising down and down and down, and that is why you see more and more investors going after stocks, and stocks keep growing up and up. There are growth stocks like
So by saying that the interest is going down, you mean to say if you hold it, you will earn lesser and lesser compared to previously. Now,
compared to
when the
stocks.
interest is going back,
Yeah, so
when
people
the
will,
interest is going up, you are earning more.
yeah, from bonds, and people will start removing from stocks. That's like the general idea that people take. So now after 10 years it has stopped dipping low and low and low, and it has like leveled off, and it is starting to rise. So it
Mm-hmm.
hasn't signaled like a big trend change until now, but in the future this could mean that the growth stocks will stop their rise, their insane rise on the past 10 years that they've been having.
So you're telling me the stock market crash is near.
It's not a crash. It's not a crash. Let me refrain from saying that. It's not a crash or something. The growth slows down. Those are
Okay.
those are different things. Crash is like, you know what a crash is. I don't have to explain to you
Yeah.
what a crash is.
Yeah.
So that's the first news. Keep a lookout. Start balancing your risks, basically risk management, and yeah, that's the first topic. So the second topic that you have to present to me today is BTC at 50K.
Yeah, Bitcoin hits $50,000. Although just for a few minutes, but it did hit $50,000, and now that is like a level never before seen or thought.
Let's
It
go.
is a huge level. It's a huge even level. It's a huge milestone, and you know why it's happening. Everyone knows why
Everybody
it's
knows
happening.
why
It
it's
is the
happening.
hardest asset you can ever get your hands on, and
It is the asset of the
having
21st
that backed
century.
up. Yep, and having that backed up with companies like MicroStrategy, Tesla, PayPal, Square, Twitter, all these companies are showing more and more interest towards it, and therefore you can see a substantial growth in the coming years.
Definitely.
But this is just the beginning.
Definitely.
Like we say, this is just the beginning.
Like you say, the all of the optimism is coming in, and absolutely the biggest player was Tesla. They openly announced
Mhm.
1.5 billion. We know MicroStrategy has been acquiring Bitcoin, and I guess they are like equal. They have equal amount of Bitcoins when compared to the biggest hedge funds out there, right? So
Yep.
they are basically like pushing forward the idea that okay, look, we are interested in this asset, let's take a look. And also there was I have news on this thing as well. There was there was a research done after I don't know by who, but some renowned financial research group. They researched that after Tesla moved 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, they asked like 500 CFOs, what do you want to do in the future? And 76% of them agreed that they want to move 5 to 8% of their company's portfolio, hand money that they have into Bitcoin in the future.
Yeah.
Coming like
Yeah.
maybe like 2021, but till 2024, you never know. But these are all exciting things.
So one really good analogy that I recently came across regarding Bitcoin is Bitcoin is like a Swiss bank of the entire globe that anybody can take part in.
Whoa.
But the slots in that Swiss bank are limited.
Gotcha.
And everyone already owns those slots. So to get to take part in that Swiss bank, which no government can access, no company can take it away from you, no one can steal from you, you have to actually buy out the slot from someone else.
Very
So
interesting.
It's
I've never heard this analogy, but it's
fixed
nice.
cupboard of slots
Okay.
where you can keep your value, and those slots are already owned by people, and you pay a premium to get back that slot
Definitely.
or that vault.
Because let me explain to people who don't know, Bitcoin is limited in number. Even though people think it is like you can get like any rational number amount of Bitcoin, like 0.000001, I think is limited to eight decimal places, right? But still, at the end of the day, it's limited. That's what makes it valuable. It's just like people don't understand the analogy between gold and Bitcoin. Why? Because gold that has been mined out is limited. And that is exactly like what Malik is trying to explain over here. There are limited amount of cupboards in that Swiss bank, and you can take part in it, and nobody can touch that money. It's yours. It's yours to do whatever you want, what you want to buy, whatever you want to spend it on. Nobody can come and say, "Hey, Malik, don't spend this, man. It's not safe or anything." And it's available every time.
Network, if you want a global network, which is it's not breakable, it's never down, it's 24/7, and you have the most robust security available.
Yeah.
Why not just take a slot?
I think through this channel, Malik, we are becoming like the advocates of Bitcoin. We are becoming like what's his name? And
I am an advocate of Bitcoin.
You are an advocate of Bitcoin, correct?
Yes, definitely.
We are using this channel way too much for advertising Bitcoin. let's give our I say Bitcoin, and the next news that I had bought is again around cryptocurrency, again around decentralized finance.
Okay.
So the next news that we have is there is I think this is going to take some time for me to explain. So Cream Iron Bank flash loan attack, right? I don't know if you know about this. This was a recent attack in February, I think 2021, February 2021 or December 2020. So this was like a flash attack on the lending platform, which is the Cream Iron Bank. Okay, so 2 entities got damaged in this exploitation, you can say. The loan lending service, which is what do I say? Alpha Homora. Okay, they lend out tokens based on like some parameters, you can say. And what these people were able to do, Cream Iron Bank send loans out to use in SNX in based upon what kind of credit backing you have. And what these people were able to do is they were able to make a contract which is similar to the name of Alpha Homora. And when Alpha Homora's processes, when that contract went to ask a loan from Alpha Homora, it recognized it as its own entity and gave out that loan as trusted. So that was like, I don't know how did they do that? Like, I don't know the technicalities of how exactly did they copy. They did not copy it.
Let us back up a little. So this is all happening on the Ethereum network?
Correct.
So, and one of the lenders is Alpha Homora.
Alpha Homora is one lender. Homora. Cream Iron Bank is one other lender. Two lenders. We have two lenders in place.
Okay, so basically these are just like smart contracts that are deployed on the Ethereum network.
They are loans. They are loans on the Ethereum network, basically.
Yeah. So you have smart contracts where you can actually go and say, give me some loan.
Correct.
And these are also called flash loans, as
Correct.
in the loans that you take can be returned back after whatever you do in just a single transaction.
Yes. So
So
what happened is these people so what happened is these people, they took money, like in like the most basic essence that I can break it down to. They took a lot of money by showing Alpha Homoro that they are legit, by pretending that they are one of their contract lenders. Like, how did they exploit that? I don't know. The patch has been fixed, and nobody can do that again anymore. But they somehow we can say like let's say they
How
pretended to
much was
fee
stolen?
37.5 million from Alpha Homora, and I think similar.
Do we have a transaction ID?
Yeah, we have everything, but I don't have it over here. I couldn't get hand of it.
Okay, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so they took money from this Alpha Homora. They went to Cream Iron Bank. They told, "Look, we have this much in our accounts. We are coming from Alpha Homora. We want SNX from you." And these people took SNX from them. They went back to Aave and they showed, "We have this much SNX. Give us more liquidity." And they kept doing.
By the way, Aave is also a lending protocol on Ethereum, and SNX is like a token that is deployed on Ethereum.
Exactly.
So
these are different. These are different things. Imagine like this is like the Lehman Brothers, the bank. Imagine that's the bank, and USD is being giving out. USD is SNX in this context, right? So they gave out. These people kept collecting SNX like this, like maybe like 2-3, I don't know how many transactions they did, but they were able to like come out with $37.5 million and just like vanish away. Because and the bulk of the exploit was taken by Alpha Homora and this Cream Iron Bank. So they lost, I think Aave lost 5% when this flash attack happened. Alpha Homora lost 20% of its valuation, and I think Cream Iron Bank lost 15% of its valuation. Like, it was trading at 230 and then it came down to like 188 or something, as you can see over here. Interesting, right? Interesting. So this shows you like decentralized finance is not perfect. It's
not perfect.
It's beginning
not at all.
It's these
exploits. This is a price to pay to become an early adopter.
Exactly.
But also the value that you're going to extract out of it, being an early adopter, is tremendous.
Exactly.
So you have to play your bets like that.
Exactly. The good thing is that Alpha Homora has like $1.6 billion dollars of reserve with them, so they can basically handle this amount of loss. That's one good thing. And moving on from that, pretty complex stuff. Yeah, pretty hard to get into a short format.
Yeah, if you guys want more explanations, we'll do it, certainly.
Definitely. We can continue this topic even in our next episode if people get interested. So the next topic.
The next one I have is a term that I recently came across with. I should have come across it way long before, but right now this is what I know. It's called NeoBanks. NeoBanks is perhaps a very buzzy word in the fintech industry right now. It just means a bank that does not have any physical presence in the country. So those are called neobanks, and they are catching a lot of venture capital. They're catching a lot of heat behind it, and they are also known as the most innovative companies right now in India, in USA. So perhaps the most easy, the only difference that I can see is traditional banks have their normal processes that happen on paper and also have it done in their own banks. If you want to do a big transaction, if you want to deposit a check, all those transactions happen in the bank itself. But over here, all of it happens on the cloud. So you just have to have a mobile app and then you can start. So there's a statement that I want to read out.
Okay, sure.
For traditional banks, it is difficult to change the legacy technologies for which they have already spent a lot. So they already have a lot of infrastructure placed. Neobanks, on the other hand, are small and nimble. They can use the latest technology and offer solution to customers' banking solutions. So this is what the CEO of Open Financial Technology said, and that is the website that you just pulled out. It's called Open. These are one of the biggest neobanks that are available in India right now, and all they want you to do is just apply directly by mobile, do your KYC by mobile, and everything is managed through mobile. You don't have to go to an actual bank. And
just
these
quick question. Let me just stop you there. So what is like the physical asset that they're holding in the background?
Physical asset, they are also no, their assets are held in other banks that they are affiliated to.
Understood.
So obviously they have their accounts in actual banks, but they give out services like a actual bank through their interface on the website and the application.
Okay.
So
basically they seem like a very pretty UI bank to me right now. like
Yeah,
super
but
convenient.
if something goes wrong, you don't even have to go to the bank.
Understood.
They
Understood.
are chartered banks, they are licensed banks, just that it is different compared to digital banks, as in when banks like put their entire data on their own website and offer you services, that is different. But neobanks are completely from ground up built on the web, so
Understood.
that is the biggest
So
difference
like
here.
my quick question to this venture or this thing would be basically like people go to a bank like for maybe say like 10 years that is in their locality, in their branch, right? In the past, maybe not the new generation, and after KYC, after UPI, everything is digital, which is good, and people are not going to banks and ATMs that much. So do you think that this is
Mm.
going to replace the factor that people had like sort of a trust when they would go to the branch, and they would be like, okay, if I had an issue, I could reach to this person, I can see their face, I can get to them for help. Do you think
Yeah,
that would be
so
like
that is the biggest concern right now with
yeah,
middle class people,
correct.
especially when their bank accounts are small and the banks do not actually give them that much help when you just call up the customer service. So they just resort to going to the bank and talking to
Going
their
to the bank and talking, taking their issue with
yeah
them,
to their
up with the bank.
tellers and
Exactly.
asking. Yeah, but I don't think that will stay for long, because people are shifting to Google Pay and all these payment
Many people,
methodologies already.
all of our friends have
Yeah.
already shifted. Our friends, our generation,
Well, we
almost
are
already shifted.
technologically you know used to using technology from since our childhood, so
It was
we don't come in
easy
that category.
transition
I'm
for
talking
us.
about
Easy transition for us,
yeah.
basically. Gotcha. I understand.
So having a bank completely on the cloud, I want to test it out. Actually, I actually thought of creating an account.
Did you get an
I'll
account?
let you
ten
know
thousand
if I.
rupees or something?
Uh,
What did they tell you to
no, no,
deposit?
no. No, I wanted to. I wanted to. I didn't yet. So if I do, I'll let you know.
Maybe you can.
Well,
Maybe
but
you
it's
can and
pretty
let me know
interesting.
about your experience in one of the episodes at our show.
Sure.
We could
Yeah.
just one topic could be just your experience, how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that'll be nice to hear. Anything else you want to add
Yeah.
before I move on to the next topic? Because the next topic
No, that's all.
is
That's new
we're gonna
banks.
go back to technology. After all this serious stuff, I'm gonna show you some mind blowing technology. So as you keep calling me the data science expert and such, I have a power that I can read some amazing research papers and understand what is going on in them. Right?
I can't
So
do that.
so yes. So this paper, it was published on. You can see over here on the left. If you can see, let me just check. Our audience is seeing the Chrome. December 1, 2020. Okay. So VR, Malik. This is about VR. The interaction of hands in VR. Do you have an experience with interaction of hands in VR? Have you ever tried something?
I held the devices
Did you? Okay.
that just
Good.
come in your palm,
Good.
and that will emulate your hand in the
So
actual VR
did you see
environment.
your emulated hand? Do you have an experience seeing an emulated
Yeah,
hand?
yeah,
Right?
I do.
You have an
Yeah.
experience, right? So just try to remember that experience of the emulated hand that is very bad. It doesn't know where the surface is. I don't know how good of a VR did you experience.
I used Oculus.
You use Oculus. Okay, so they must have been. I don't know how it was, but let me show you. So what we have here. Let me. Oh, I think we can't show full screen. Let me just zoom in. Yep, much better. So what you're gonna see is the first breakthrough in the best uh, emulation of VR hands, of hand to hand interaction, hand to not hand to object yet, but hand to hand interaction. Okay, so this is the
Okay.
best tech we have right now, and this is the first algorithm that has emulated two hands in a VR capacity by, of course, using ML and AI. And what you're seeing is it's like a learning phase, and this is the one of the
Whoa.
basically simulations. Sorry. That girl.
Wait,
Everything is simulated. Everything that you see is simulated.
this is not captured by camera.
No. This is all of this is simulated. The glove. It's a hand that is simulated hand, and it's like rendered and everything. It's
All right, keep playing the video.
yes. So they introduced like 5 or 6 new constraints into the older algorithm, which was not present. and this is what you're seeing the results as are.
So, like in real life, when you're holding any device and when you're touching your hands like this, in the VR environment, also it touches.
Correct.
And
And it's not just limited
if I
to
show
that.
some friction,
Even look at this. So this is the old technology, and these are like some of the terms that they have added to create the boundaries perfect, so that the interactions in the simulation are nice. So before this would happen, these are some of the terms that they have added. Imagine these are like constraints, okay? And without the physics term, that is what you would see. And then without the there are some like other errors you will see if there are not the terms that you see, like thumb loses volume and shears unnaturally. You can see the thumb doesn't look natural with their algorithm. It's absolutely amazing. And this is being this is the first paper to do this. There is nothing like this out there. This is 0 to 1 in this type of technology.
so where was it invented?
I'm not sure actually. That's a good question. I'm sorry, I don't know. Look at the previous generation and look at this. Like that is what would happen without geometry consistency. This is like one of their constraints, geometry consistency. So it looks cool. But we are very far from seeing this in rendered format, because every frame you see over here, every frame was rendered after 10 minutes of computer processing. 10 minutes every frame.
Whoa.
So I don't know how long they took it to render this film for us. But this is like a technology like going from 0 to 1. Imagine like this is the first hard disk. Imagine we are at that stage with this thing. But imagine the possibilities now after 2 years, after 5 years, and this
Very
this
insane.
thing will improve like multiplied like 100 folds, 1,000 folds in like 2 or 3 more papers, right? So after it starts to become somewhere around at least 10 frames per second, at the very least, and then we'll start seeing something, right? Like wearing an Oculus and coming out right there. So with type of tech like this, games would become good. But other than that, medical.
I recently came across some article. One of the directors, I don't remember which director, actually brought out this term called metaverse gaming and movie watching. As in, if you watch a movie and the movie has ended, to continue the story of the movie, you play the game and get involved. You complete the game, you have submissions, and that submissions then can be completed through a VR portal. So one of the directors is actually working, I can't remember the name, but he wants to connect all these different mediums of storytelling and just integrate all of it into one big metaverse. So just imagine,
It'll be like
at
a
the end,
game.
you
It'll
can
be at the end of a movie, or like at the end
you
of.
watch a movie, you
Understood.
experience the movie.
Understood.
If you want to continue the story or have some different storylines that come through that story, then you play the game out of it. And then while playing the game, if you want to dive deeper into the nuances of the story and the characters, then you go into the VR mode of it. So it becomes like an entire experience from start to finish.
That is insane.
That is very interesting.
That is Ready Player One, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sort of.
sort of.
That is where we are
So
going.
just imagine this inside that universe
And this
will make it
amazing. Like, yeah, Elon Musk is telling the truth. It could be there's a slight probability, but this could be a simulation that we are living in. The only difference is we don't have the computing power right now. This shows that literally that's the only difference. That is the only difference. It's scary to think about it, but it's amazing at the same time.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all for
That's our time.
us
Yes,
today.
that's our time for today.
Yeah.
You go ahead, close this episode.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We will try to do this every single day. We will bring out 3 topics from both of our sides and discuss it, teach each other something every day, and hopefully you'll also learn
Yes.
something every single
We're
day.
aiming for 3, minimum 2. Let's see how it goes. We want to give you
Alright.
basically the interesting topics, so let's not aim for more topics.
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye guys.